What's going on, boxing fans? It's Julian Williams with The Distance. I'm here to give you this Andre Dirrell versus Arthur Abraham prediction. I'm going to try to keep this one as short as possible, though I talk a hell of a lot. So, who knows how long this video is going to be. But anyway, I'm doing this prediction early because I'm going to be out of town next week, so I won't get a chance to do this video kind of in time, because I do want to leave some time between my predictions and the fights. I want to leave time in between that duration. So anyway, this is a fight for the Super 6 super middleweight tournament. I've been a little back and forth with this fight lately. My preliminary thought was, wow, Andre Dirrell should take this fight, and take it easily. But Dirrell in this fight, after watching the Froch fight a few times, though I thought Dirrell won the Froch fight by a point or two, even with the point deducted, I thought Dirrell won the fight. Dirrell did show a lot of very uncharacteristic things in that fight. He showed a lot of a lack of character, a lack of determination as well, because you're in another fighter's hometown. He has to fight his fight. He has to keep boxing, because you're going against a hometown crowd. So he did show a lack of maturity and a lack of professionalism. Instead of going about his business and continue the fight, he can complain to the ref, lost points, etc., etc. And really, that's it happens sometimes, especially in a hometown crowd like what he was dealing with against Froch. And Arthur Abraham, just now coming off that ugly knockout of Jermaine Taylor, the nasty knockout in the 12th round. Arthur Abraham, very good fighter, very patient. Kind of stands in the shell, but there are times he comes out of the shell and lands hard shots, and Arthur Abraham does a good job of making his shots count. So anyway, in this fight for Andre Dirrell is a good at he's good at switch hitting. He can fight from the southpaw, he can fight from orthodox. He can change up. He fights at and uses the jab that works best for his ability. Really, that's what Dirrell does. He can come out, he can jab with the right, and whatever, where he can jab with the left. And he has very good hand speed. He has some good power as well. He could counter very well, and he has good athleticism, good overall lateral movement, good foot speed, whatever. In this fight, Andre Dirrell wants to keep wants to keep a certain range away from Arthur Abraham. Arthur Abraham is going to stand in that shell and kind of let Dirrell get points. But if Dirrell doesn't stay set, Arthur Abraham's not going to have a target to hit. Other than that, I think that using whatever jab is comfortable for him and throwing combos and moving, will pretty much be Dirrell's key to victory. And on top of that, we did see in the Froch fight that Dirrell does a very good job of moving his head, being elusive. But at the same time, Dirrell was not coming over Froch's punches and countering him. Against the Arthur Abraham, if there's that opportunity, then Andre Dirrell wants to counter Arthur Abraham. He wants to counter him, because you can't win points by slipping and ducking shots and not countering back with anything. Especially when the other fighter is basically working and you're kind of boxing. But really, that's really what Dirrell needs to do in this fight. Dirrell needs to stay as much on the outside as possible. He needs to move around on the outside as much as possible. He needs to find that jab that works comfortable for him. But at the same time, when I guess when Arthur Abraham kind of adjusts and he adapts, maybe he can go and he can use the other jab and use it to his advantage in this fight. That's really Dirrell's best bet. Using both of his jabs, moving around the ring, constant movement. Don't give Arthur Abraham the target that he wants. And pretty much Dirrell could kind of get the victory in this fight. Arthur Abraham, like I said, stands in kind of a little shell, but he comes out of the shell and he does a very good job of making his shots count. He doesn't necessarily throw many shots, but he knows when to throw shots, and he knows how to make them count. And other than that, he has brute strength, great punching power, has some deadly knockouts in his career. In this fight, he pretty much may want to do pretty much what Froch did. He wants to stay in close with Dirrell, because we saw Dirrell get frustrated when Froch stayed in close against him. Arthur Abraham wants to stay in close with Andre Dirrell. And other than that, other than staying in close, we kind of test out Dirrell's maturity a bit. Come on the inside, and land some shots on the inside and hold. See if you could frustrate him, because in the Froch fight, Dirrell got frustrated. He was frustrated. Probably by like the 5th round, was frustrated, and and it became a different fight and became sloppy. Abraham wants to be a sloppy fight because Abraham capitalizes on other fighters' mistakes. And on top of that, with the strength of Arthur Abraham, I know he has the power to make Dirrell go back, or make Dirrell take a back step, and Dirrell does have a tendency to kind of get caught up in the ropes. So with that, that could be used to his advantage, the strength factor. But and other than that, sometimes when Dirrell throws his shots, he does tend to lead in with his head. So Arthur Abraham could time him, and Arthur Abraham has very good timing. Arthur Abraham could time him with the right hand, and he could put him down for the count. And this is nothing like the Roca fight when Roca hit him and had him down or whatever. If Arthur Abraham lands flush on Dirrell's chin, he's probably gonna put him to sleep. If he lands on the chin the same way that he landed on Jermaine Taylor. I think at 168, Arthur Abraham has more power. He probably has more energy at 168 than he did at 160, because he was struggling to make that weight. And and pretty much, I think, like I said, I think he's stronger at 168 than he was at 160. So there's a lot of factors in this fight that I could point out in this video, but there's too many to name. But if I have to choose anybody to win, I want to go with Andre Dirrell by a unanimous decision. I think that Dirrell has the boxing ability to stay on the outside. I think honestly that it's going to be a sloppy fight. To be quite honest, I think it's going to be no different from the Froch fight. I see Andre Dirrell staying on the outside. I don't see him exchanging at all with Arthur Abraham, because why would Dirrell exchange, with a big puncher like Abraham? Though Abraham throws at least 3 or 4 shots at a time, in his combinations, doesn't really throw more than 4, punches. I think Dirrell would use that to his advantage. I really think that Dirrell would just stay on the outside, keep his range, and fight a very sloppy fight and get the unanimous decision victory. Honestly, something tells me that Arthur Abraham could pull off the knockout. Something tells me that, but I'm gonna go Andre Dirrell. Hometown crowd. Had felt a lot of people felt he was robbed, in the last fight. So I think that he's in for a big showing. And I think that he's going to defeat Arthur Abraham by unanimous decision, but I think it's going to be a sloppy fight. But anyway, that was the distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.